Hello and welcome to Weekend Investing Daily Bites. We're shooting episode 290 and we are selling Adani Enterprise. I'll tell you why inside this episode, but first I look at the markets. So, again, a very iffy day after the last week having been quite weak. PSU banking, uh, private banks as well, energy stocks, real estate stocks, metal stocks, all have been quite weak in the last 7 days, 5 trading days. IT rather has been flat. It has gained 0.1% in the last week, and pharma has picked some legs at plus 2.1% in the last week. So these are the sort of defensive sectors that money rushes to once the risk of trade happens. And today also we saw good gains in pharma stocks. Some PSU banks made a comeback. FMCG was looking good. Public sector enterprise stocks were looking good. So some sectors had a bit of a bounce, a dead cat bounce on Nifty to start with, reasonably nearly almost, I think, almost a percent, a little less than a percent to start with, but then the entire day that dead cat bounce was given up and actually went down below yesterday's close also to close minus 0.24% lower. Autos also down, although there was some good news about I think the airbag dates being shifted to the next year. That should have been a relief to some counters. Consumption stocks also down 0.5%. Energy stocks also down 0.8%. So we are still stuck in this rut of the downward trend. Globally, there has been no major move up. There have been some interventions by some central banks. China also intervened today. UK intervened yesterday. India is also hovering near the USD INR near 81.8 and 81.9. So I think a coordinated move will happen some point of time, or some major short selling, covering may come at some point and give some relief from this extremely oversold situation. So if you see the daily RSI on the Nifty, it is quite oversold, and in the past at such RSI levels, within the next week or so, there have been very healthy bounces at least. So the probability of a bounce is increasing every day. Which day it will come around is anybody's guess. Overall indices, mid and small cap did not fall today, so that was the good silver lining. And CNX 500 also was flat. A major damage was towards Nifty only, Nifty and Nifty Next 50. Adani stocks suddenly saw a fall in the last half an hour, 1 hour. So there is maybe some news that may come out, I don't know. But mid and small caps did well, and that was also reflected in the weekend investing small cases. So MI 50 up 1.4% today. MI 35 also up. MI 25, MI Evergreen, all these small cases did quite well. MI India top 10 at plus 0.42 versus Nifty at minus 0.24 did well, and others with some minor gains. NNF 10, of course, with more Adani exposure, was down at minus 0.26, and ATH also down at minus 0.28. The heat map for the day, you can see ONGC was the big one on the upside, and ITC was also oversold. That has also bounced well. You can see Sun Pharma, Cipla doing well. Cement stocks and steel stocks also did well. Tata Steel, Hindalco doing well on aluminium stock. Shree Cements doing well here. Shree Cements, although, is getting out of Nifty from tomorrow's close, but the stock is doing well. Asian Paint, major damage today, minus 5%. Maruti, Titan, Bajaj, all down. Within the banking also, you can see Kotak Bank, HDFC Bank, finance companies, Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, all down here. And IT, TCS lost along with Wipro. So we have an L&T also, I think, lost quite a bit in the last 2-3 days. So we have some major damages here happening. but it is now to be seen what kind of a global move comes around. If we have this week is important because it's a quarter closing, it's a weekly closing, monthly closing, and a quarter closing. So, there are issues around such dates where some NAV propping up may happen or may not happen, or some positions may get cut by the end of the quarter, or some decisions have to be made, or rebalances are due at the end of the week or the quarter or the month. So a lot of index changes are happening. So money is coming into some stocks, money is going out of some other stocks. A lot of things may happen in the month end and quarter end. In terms of the total top 500 top gainers, Sun Pharma advanced up 14%. This is, I think, coming into the mid and small cap index. Suven Pharma, I tweeted a list of the new index changes, so please go and see that tweet. Suven Pharma up 8%, Mazagon Dock almost up 8%, Wrights up 7.3%, Prism Johnson up 6.8%. Very good moves. In terms of the falls, Vodafone Idea down 5%, Adani Transmission, Asian Paints, Bajaj Holdings, and ITI all down about 5% each. So big stocks and big damage here. Lupin is the case study we want to highlight today. So you can see from 2013 or end of 2012 till today, almost 10 years, zero performance in terms of stock price. Yes, there may have been some dividends, but I'm not so sure. 75% drop from the peak, and the peak came at around 2100 rupees in 2015. So 7 years since the peak, 75% drop from the peak. I can't imagine the kind of pain Lupin investors are sitting on. And there are twofold issues in this. One is the pain of the investment going down, and two is the opportunity cost of your capital. Just for argument's sake, if you had gotten out at 2000 to 1800 wherever and used that money even in Nifty for the last 8 years, 7 years, your capital would have been doubled by now, and you could have maybe entered today, with double the quantity. That is one way of thinking about it. The other way to think about it, okay, I'm a very long-term investor. I have a lot of confidence in Lupin. Lupin is one of the largest generic pharmaceutical companies, MNC from India, $2 billion plus revenue, blah, blah, blah. Good lot of good narrative. So I'm going to wait till my deathbed until this goes up. That's fine. The issue there is that the longer it does not go up, the more is the catch up that your capital needs to do. So let's say Nifty gives you, let's say, 13-14% total returns on a CAGR basis, assuming 1 to 1.5% dividend also here. So at around 14-15% gross return, your money doubles every 5 years. In 10 years, your money goes 4 times. So Lupin has to go up 4x just to meet Nifty returns now. Are you seeing the impact of opportunity cost now? So until Lupin reaches 2600, you would not have even beaten Nifty by then. And you would have gone through this excruciating pain, which is probably more than any surgery that you will have on your body. So, my point is why you want to go through this. Just to prove a point that, you picked the right stock but at the wrong time, and you're willing to go through the pain for that. It is a lot of self-inflicted pain, and there are ways of avoiding this pain and not having to keep the ego that, I bought this stock, so I must get out only once I perform in this stock. So please review your strategy to hold long-term losing stocks. Every stock is not a gainer in the long term. A lot of stocks are losers in the long term. We have 6,000-7,000 stocks listed on the exchange, and several thousand stocks will not give you any return. Or some may give you a lot of return for some time, but then later on they may not, and they may take away all that return. So nothing is sure and nothing is like a line in stone anywhere. So top story for the day: we are selling Adani Enterprise. You may be thinking, why we are selling Adani Enterprise, because this stock is just going up. But we are having to sell Adani Enterprise because Adani Enterprise is moving to Nifty 50 from 1st of October, and it had entered Nifty Junior or Nifty Next 50 as it is called in April 21, and Nifty Next 50 10 NNF 10 hour strategy had bought Adani Enterprise in April 2021 because it was a part of Nifty Next 50 and it had exhibited the entry criteria that we have for a stock to be in NNF 10. So we bought it and we've been holding it ever since, doing nothing much but holding it, and it's been a year and a half. And now about 250% gain is there on the stock, and now it is moving out of Nifty Next 50. So we are having to sell it, not wanting to sell it, but we are having to sell it. And Nifty 50 is going to get the benefit of Adani Enterprise next move if it does move up. So our other strategy, India Top 10, may add this next month, but we don't know. But this is the reason why we are getting out of Nifty, out of Adani Enterprise in Nifty Next 50. And it's been a very nice, clean move. Although there were some jiggles here where we reached 1700 and then retraced to 1100. So a bit of a fall. But in momentum ranking systems, a lot of these jiggles can be taken care of if the strength of the trend is very strong. So it is something like the average true range, where if the trend is very strong, your ATR will be away from the price till the price stabilizes. So something like that, where if you draw even a exponential average, it'll take time to catch up. So this was a great stock in NNF 10, and NNF 10 it by itself has been a fantastic strategy. Since 2016 it has gained 264%. So from 100 it has gone to 364% on a gross basis. Total return, this is up till 22 September. So as of today, the total returns is 240%. This chart will come down as we update it. CAGR has been 20.77%. Max drawdown has been 23.6%. But just look at the benchmark against which it is benchmarking. CAGR of 13.35. So there's a good 7+% alpha on this. You can put all your costs and taxation or whatever you may like, and it will still come out to be a huge winner. And the bigger part is the ROMAD ratio. The max drawdown is only 23.6 versus 42% on the Nifty Next 50. So if you see the ROMAD, the ROMAD will be crazily better than the benchmark. And it just takes 2 minutes to run this strategy. Every month we will rebalance it first of each month, and that's all that is needed. And you can see the outperformance, that outperformance keeps on growing as we go further and further. So beautiful strategy. I really like this strategy. So this is all I had for today's daily bite. I'm getting a lot of feedback in the YouTube comments. So thank you so much for your comments. Very nice congratulatory comments come through. I'm not able to thank each one of them. So I'm using this opportunity to thank each one of you who have written on the YouTube comments. There are a lot of imposters there also coming, trying to lure you into some sort of outside arrangement with you, offering you some advice or something. Please don't fall into those traps. We will not offer you any product beyond what is already existing without any announcement. Please do share with your friends and family these videos, and if you like this content, please like it and subscribe it as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.